my personal experience with Dadi Prakashmani, an extraordinary woman, an extraordinary soul. Dadi was someone that respected everyone. She listened to each one of us. Whatever we had to say, she would listen to us. She would never jump into a conclusion. If Dadi was facing any opposition, if she was facing any difficulties, she would take time to listen to both sides of a conflict, and she would allow that energy of God to inspire her. Whoever met her, we used to take many guests to our headquarters in India, and they all were surprised at this huge organization with thousands and thousands of volunteers running the different aspects of the organization. And the head of the organization was always smiling. She was always so happy. She was someone who was so stable. So people used to ask her, about her leadership. And she always responded in the same way. I'm not doing anything, she would say. I'm only God's instrument. And it's so interesting how she had this unshakable faith that no matter what she had to go through, no matter what challenge they were facing, she knew that God would help her. She trusted everyone. She trusted herself. She trusted what we call drama, life itself, and the unfolding of events. And of course, she had this faith that came from this unique relationship that she established with the divine being, with God, with the Father of all souls. And Dadi was something that I really liked to see in her, was that although she was present, if we were in a picnic, she was entertaining. If we were in class, she had such depth. Her purity was so touching. Every word she spoke came from a place where she embodied that. She would talk to us from experience. So there was something about her, like there was always that lightness. But at the same time, Dadi was serious. She had a smiling face, but she was serious about things. And I know that she was strict. I was coming from abroad, visiting our headquarters. So when the foreigners came, Dadi used to spoil us. She spoiled us a lot. She wanted to know, what is it that you like to eat? So she would make sure. This was in the 1980s when I came. And, to provide ice cream for 600 people was not a small thing. So she would make sure that by the time she offered, they had collected enough buffalo milk to produce the ice cream. And then she came to know that the foreigners like chips. So then she said, okay, we must have chips during their season when they come. So she went out of her way to make us feel at home. So for her, hospitality and divine hospitality was top of her list. But it all came from her time with Brahma Baba, the founding father of the Brahma Kumaris. Because when Dadiji came, when she came to this knowledge, she was a very young girl, a beautiful girl. And she recognized that original truth in herself and in others. And so when she joined the organization, which was not even an organization. It was something being born organically within Brahma Baba's home. And so she immediately became his helper, Brahma's helper, Brahma Baba, the founding father's helper. And as they became more and more, she became very motherly. But at the same time, she became someone very pragmatic and very practical. So she was very grounded, but at the same time, very divine, very angelic. So it took very little time for everybody to trust her and to see in her the leader that she would then become with time. Because when Brahma Baba left his body as a divine angel who had accomplished, he had become perfect. He had become totally virtuous and totally pure. So when he leaves, Dadi Prakashmani becomes the head of the Brahma Kumaris. And it didn't take much for everyone to recognize that she was the one. There was nothing like competition, who's going to be next. There was nothing like that, because she already was in that position in which she was already so generously sharing of herself, her time, her learnings, everything. So Dadi Ji became a natural leader. It was like we just loved being with her. We just learned from her so naturally. And we brought many people to her. And she also visited all the countries around the world. And she met very important people all over the world who recognized in her such an icon of purity, such an example of love, of natural peace. Her qualities were completely natural in shining the light of the soul that Dadi Ji was. So for all of us in the Brahma Kumaris, Dadi Ji is such a powerful example. And she has, I like to think that she's like the queen of our hearts. I don't know anyone in this huge organization who could ever say, Dadi Ji, or, have any negative feelings. And I don't mean that they might not have had difficulties, but I'm sure they must have been, at least, of course, before I came as well. So many years, Dadi started when it was the foundation of this organization in the 1930s. But I don't know anyone who would not say, Dadi Prakashmani is my Dadi. And we feel that we belong to her, but we definitely feel that she belongs to us.